we have a new Demo 16 project in the Project Manager, and you'll notice I've got demo02.dwg open in the schematic subfolder, and you'll notice if I come down here in the panel folder as well, I've got demo 08 open as well. The reason I've got two different drawings open, a schematic drawing and a panel drawing, is we're going to look at how we generate reports in AutoCAD Electrical. So go up to the Reports tab here on the ribbon, and you'll see that we've got schematic reports and we've also got panel reports. So make sure you're in the appropriate drawing for each type of report. I'm going to go back to the schematic drawing, Demo 02, and then in the schematic panel here, I click on the reports icon, and that'll bring up the reporting dialog box. Now there's a lot of information in here, and a lot of it sometimes you won't need. So for schematic reporting, we've got different types of reports. The drawing that I've got open, Demo 02, is a point-to-point wiring diagram with components in it. So I'm going to go for the component report like so, and you'll see that the dialog box changes. I'm going to do a component report purely for the active drawing. Category will be schematic, as in schematic components. I want to just include components, but you'll notice I've got all these different settings I can use. I can freshen the project database. I can add installation codes, location codes. When I click on OK now, what will happen is it will go through that drawing and find all of the information for me in that report. So that's how I generate a report around a schematic drawing. So what happens with a panel drawing? Well, let's just close that. Open up drawing Demo 08. I can click on the tab there because I've already got it open. We go to the panel on the reports tab on the ribbon, and we go to reports there. Similar dialog box, but you'll notice there's less information in the report names. We can still do component, and again the dialog box changes. I'm going to do active drawing. I'm going to include nameplates. Freshen project database, I'll leave the installation codes and location codes to all. Click on OK, and again it generates all of the information that I need for a report. So that is how you generate reports in your AutoCAD electrical drawings. Let's have a look now at changing our AutoCAD electrical report formats. We're staying in the Demo 16 project, and I'm in the schematic subfolder. And I've only got the one drawing open now, which is demo02.dwg, and it's a schematic drawing. So we'll be using the schematic panel in the reports tab on the ribbon, and we'll be using this reports icon here. So I click on reports, and let's look at changing the formats. Now, each report has a name. So you've got bill of materials, missing bill of materials, components, from and to, component wire lists, and so on. These are all of your different report formats that you can generate. Now, the benefit of all of them is you can do a report via project, active drawing, or you can actually just pick and report from specific components on a specific drawing, which is really useful. You might be in a schematic drawing and there's only certain components that you want to generate a report about, such as a component report and what those actual components are. Formatting, there is a lot to think about. So you can see when I go to the component report format here, I can do it via project or I can do it via active drawing. So if I do it via active drawing, I can then specify a category for that component report. I can do a one-line report, a one-line bus tap report, a hydraulic, pneumatic, or P&ID. I'm just going to stick with the regular schematic components in this case. Now, I've got various options available to me, and these options change from one report format to another. If I'm doing components, there's my options there. If I went for something like a connector summary, you'll see that there isn't any options there. A connector detail, again, no options. If I went for wire labels, again, no options there. But if I went active drawing all, again, no options. It varies from format to format. So let's go back to component again. And you can see that all these different settings are available to you. Use them to your advantage to rationalize your reports when you generate them out of AutoCAD Electrical. There's nothing worse than a report with loads of information on it that just isn't going to be used. Narrow down what you need in your report format. So, for example, I've got a component report format, and I want active drawing and schematic components only. I don't want cable markers, I don't want connectors. I don't even want the children components either. I just want the main parent components in a schematic report. It allows me to freshen the project database to give me the most current information, which is really, really useful. Now, if I click on Format here, though, what happens? I can select from report setting files listed below. Now, there aren't any at the moment. I could go and browse for some if there were some available, but there aren't any. All I'm using is the default settings for this schematic report. Installation codes I can set up, blank, quite often useful. And then I click on OK, and there's all the information. Now you'll notice there isn't actually that many components in this specific drawing. You can see them there. So there's your format for your report in AutoCAD Electrical. We're staying in the Demo 16 project and the schematic subfolder and drawing demo02.dwg. So we're still in the same drawing that we used for the previous video. And as you can see, it's a schematic component drawing. You can see all of the multiple wire buses and the components on the wires themselves. We're going to go to the Reports tab on the ribbon, Schematic tab here, and we're going to create a schematic report by clicking on the Reports button. You'll notice it remembers what you set up last time. So there's Component. I'm going to do Active Drawing. Schematics. I'm going to include components, cable markers, and connectors this time. I'm going to freshen the project database and leave the installation codes in there. Click on OK, and that creates my report. Now, my report at the moment is just text in this field here. So I can scroll up and down, and there's my report there. I can add things like a header, time and date, title line, project lines, and so on. Page breaks. I can squeeze it together. I can add blanks between entries as well. I can also change the report format if I want to. So I can decide on what I'm going to show in the actual report itself. So you'll see that this particular component data here, these are the fields that are going on the report. So I can remove what I don't want, such as query 1. I can remove that. Catalogue description. Let's remove that too. Catalogue, manufacturer, sub-quantity. We'll leave those in there. So you've got the tag name, the component itself, the quantity, the manufacturer, and the catalogue number. So if I OK that now, there's all the information in my report itself. Now I want to add this report to the drawing. All I've got to do is click on Put on Drawing. And what will happen is it will give me the options now for a table generation setup. So I'm inserting a new table, calculating the column widths automatically. I can pick where the sections are going to go, set up the row definition, column labels, titles, time, date, project information. I'm just going to go with the default settings for now to show you how to place a report on your drawing. It's a simple case of setting all these settings, clicking on OK, and there's my table there. Now, unfortunately, it does go over some of my wires there, but I position it in the drawing and I click. There's the report generator back again. I close that now. And there's my report there. Now you can see that's gone off the drawing slightly. It is an AutoCAD table, as you can see there, and I can very easily, if I zoom in real close, I can see the information in the table. Click on it there. I can click on this grip here and I can move that table around the drawing as I see fit. Now it does clash with some wires there, as you can see, so I'll just hit escape a couple of times. Double click on the wheel to zoom extents. And that's how you insert your reports into your AutoCAD electrical drawings. We're staying in our Demo 16 project now, and we've got drawing Demo02 still open. Now this is a schematic drawing, so we need to go to the Reports tab here on the ribbon and into the Schematic panel and click on Reports here. Now we're going to basically take our report this time to a specific file format, such as a database file format or a spreadsheet file format. We're going to go for the component report format here in the active drawing. Category will be schematic. We're going to include the children for the above components here and freshen the project database. I'm going to switch off the installation codes by making them both blank and the location code as well. And then I'm going to click on OK. That creates my report. Now you can see my report is fairly insubstantial. That's because there's not many listed catalogue components in this drawing Demo02. I am, however, going to add a time and a date, a title, a project, and column labels like so, because this time I'm going to save this particular report out to a file. So I'm going to click on Save to File here. It's going to be an Excel spreadsheet. It can also be an ASCII text report. It can be an Access Database format, MDB, XML format for web pages and so on, or a CSV, delimited ASCII output as well. And I've got various CSV options there. They're grayed out at the moment. I click on OK. Now I need to go and find where I'm going to put that particular report. So I scroll down the list. There's Infinite Skills there. And there's my AutoCAD Electrical folder. I need to go to the right work file folder. So again, I'm working my way through. It's quite a long path and it's in here. There's my Demo 16 project folder. So I'm going in there and you can see there's already an XLS file that I've created previously. I'm going to overwrite that one, click on Save. Do I want to replace it? Yes, I do. That has now been written out to that spreadsheet XLS file. So I say close. There's no script to run. It's just a basic XLS file. I can then close this here. And now if I come down to the taskbar and go to my folder, there's my Demo 16 folder and there's my component report 001 XLS. So I've saved that to the project folder, ready to be used at a later date, perhaps by somebody who needs to access it via a spreadsheet and perhaps add prices and costings against those components in that particular AutoCAD electrical drawing. There are times when you will need to edit your reports in your AutoCAD electrical drawings before you output them either onto the drawing or out to a separate file format, such as a database or a spreadsheet. So we're staying with Demo 16 project, and we've still got the drawing Demo 02 open, and it's a schematic drawing. So we need to go to the Reports tab here, into the schematic panel again, and make sure we click on the reports icon like so. We're going to go for a component report again, in the active drawing, schematic category, and we're also going to include the children for the above components in the options. We will freshen the project database, and we will leave the installation codes and location codes in this time. So I click on OK, and there's my report. Before I actually start editing my report, make sure that you've got everything you need. So we've got tag name, component, subquantity, manufacturer, and catalog number. So that's all in there. That's what we need. Now, you might want to add information such as time date, title line, project lines, and column labels. Then you can go into edit mode here. If I click on edit mode, you'll notice as soon as I do that, it only edits the report content, not things like the time date, title line, or project lines. So I can go in now and I can edit. I can add new lines, I can copy lines, I can edit, I can delete. I can move things up and down as well. So for example, I might select MOT 104 there and move that up in the list like so. So if I OK that now and return to the report, you'll notice that MOT 104 is at the top of the list. It's that easy. You go in, edit the information that you need to edit, and then you either go to put on drawing or save to file. That is how you use the edit mode in the report generator in your AutoCAD electrical drawings. We're staying in the Demo 16 project file there. You can see that for section 16 of this particular course. And we've still got drawing Demo 02 open. When you're working with reports in AutoCAD Electrical, rather than manually generate your reports all the time, you can set up cumulative automatic reporting tools. Now these are over here in the miscellaneous panel on the Reports tab on the ribbon. It's this one here, Automatic Reports. So you'll see there it defines a list of reports and their format files and runs multiple reports automatically at one time. Now, the benefit of this is that it's cumulative. As you work through your specific AutoCAD electrical project, you can generate reports automatically, and as you add more components and panels and wires to your AutoCAD electrical drawings, obviously the reports update. So if I click on Automatic Reports now, I can specify that I want a component report there, and that tells me the format file name. Can you see that there, the SET file? So what I can do is I can actually add these to my selected reports here. Now at the moment there aren't any in there. I haven't actually set up my report grouping because I need to set up a report grouping file, an RGF. However, I can go in and I can select these and basically make sure that they go across here. Now, at the moment they're grayed out. That's not a problem because I need to go into my format file setup first. Make sure that this is all set up the way I want it to. So you can see here that I need to save a report to file, put it on the drawing, change report fields, sort fields, even user posts can go in there. I can add special breaks, installation codes, location codes, pretty much anything and everything that goes into a report. You can automate it, but more importantly, set it up in the format of file that you want. So once you've set all of this information up, you click on Done. It takes you back into the automatic report selection dialog box. So as long as you remember to set up the report names, add them here to your selected reports, and then make sure that your format file setup is appropriately set up, you can then click on OK, and everything is ready to go. That will then automatically report in your AutoCAD Electrical project. It's a very neat tool. It saves you having to use the schematic panel here and the panel here when you're reporting. It allows you to actually automate it and concentrate on the actual drafting of your schematic and panel drawings in AutoCAD Electrical.